This is the story of the first season, 1946-47, when the NBA was called the BAA, Basketball Association of America. There is documentation by Hall of Fame writer Phil Berger of the first cutthroat move in a free agent bidding war to add a significant player to a roster that makes them the favorites to win it all in the inaugural 1946-47 season. The player is Albert Bones McKinney. He lives in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He's a native. He loves the state and he loves his city. Bones gets a phone call at his suburban home from the Chicago Stags owner, offering the lanky 6'6" forward $7,000 to play the first season of this new league, the BAA, with the Chicago Stags. McKinney is a gifted player. He'd be in line for one of those multi-million-dollar deals today. But his star rises too early. It's the infancy of paychecks for pro players. He works a full-time job to pay his bills and raise his family. The Haynes Company is the largest business and employer in North Carolina. He plays for the Haynes Company basketball team at night for an extra $20 or so per game. Maybe a $2 per diem for meals after late games. The Haynes Company, after all, needs him fed to be fresh for work first thing in the morning. For all of his greatness at North Carolina State and the University of North Carolina, Bones McKinney has never had a full-time pro basketball job. This is his time. He quickly accepts. Chicago says, "This is great. You got to fly here to this city to sign the contract." McKinney says, "I hate flying. If the Lord had wanted us to fly, he'd have given us wings. I'm taking a train." That train from Winston-Salem stops in Washington, D.C., where he gets off and is intercepted by the young coach of the BAA team, the Washington Capitals. This 29-year-old head coach has only high school experience, so he is thrilled. He's in overdrive to be in charge of a pro team, even if that league has not yet played a single game. He's certain of one thing. While he scored only 1 point in his short pro career, basketball is his future. Coaching and talent evaluation is how he'll prove his greatness. Red Auerbach knows about the pending transaction with Chicago. He also knows that Bones has not yet been signed. He's waiting at the train station when it pulls in. How did he know? Well, he had called an offer, but McKinney said, "Sorry, I already gave my word, I'm committed." But Auerbach did persuade him to get off the train where it always stopped for pickups and layovers in Washington, D.C. McKinney thinks, what can it hurt? And I'll be hungry by then. Maybe I can get a free meal. Auerbach takes Bones to watch the team practice, where two of his friends he's played with and against in the service are waiting to say hello and ask him to be on the team. Like McKinney, the two are great players. Auerbach is proposing a three-headed monster long before the term was a well-known NBA mantra. McKinney pushes his next train to Chicago back a few hours, and he gets his free meal. And Auerbach doesn't mind paying. His plan was to get his free pitch at the 6'6" star forward. The two men go to dinner at the posh Blackstone Hotel, downtown D.C. Auerbach already knows the Chicago Stags offer, but he plays it like he's oblivious. Auerbach: "How much is Chicago offering you?" McKinney: $7,000. Auerbach: "No problem, I can match it." McKinney: "But I already said yes to Chicago." Auerbach: "But you haven't signed yet. This is a free country. People are allowed to change their mind." McKinney: "I need a minute to think this over." McKinney stands up, leaves the table, cutting through the Blackstone bar, heading to the restroom. But Auerbach puts the full court press on. He's chasing a win, and some refined social boundaries aren't stopping him. He catches up and stops McKinney outside the restroom. Auerbach: "Bones, you make us, the Capitals, the overwhelming favorite. And Winston-Salem, think about this, it's so much closer to Washington, D.C. He saves the real run at Bones for last. Auerbach: "My team rolls by rail, not in the air." Auerbach then pauses, calmly lights his cigar, soon to become his signature victory ritual. And he says, After all, Bones, if the Lord had wanted man to fly, he would have given us wings, right? The next train for Bones McKinney is back to Winston-Salem to pack for a season with Washington. He signs with the Capitals. Auerbach happened to have a contract with him. And now the young coach happens to have his first powerhouse team. The Capitals finish in first place in the 60-game regular season schedule by 14 games. Each player collected a $200 bonus from the league for winning the regular season. You see the standings. He beat up the East, winning 81% of games with a record of 49 wins and 11 losses. And then the team won on average by double digits. Here's the other division. And the West is won by Chicago. And the Stags are still stinging from Auerbach's intervention, some say theft, of McKinney. The league loves this. It has a grudge match storyline. They play each other in the semifinal. As the playoffs were seeded strangely, it would be fixed the following season. But in its first tournament comes the first BAA NBA major upset. Washington loses in the semifinal round 4-2. The Stags celebrate the grudge match win like the title is now theirs. But in the finals, Chicago loses, really gets blown out by the Philadelphia Warriors 4-1. A classic letdown following a series of getting too high over exacting revenge. The Warriors are BAA and will be credited as NBA champs when the league changes its name in 1949. Joe Fulks leads the way. Fulks is known as the first professional to use the jump shot. Fulks won the individual scoring title that season, averaging 23 points per game. According to ChatGPT, that would be the equivalent of 38 or more today. He scored 34 points in the Game 5 wrap-up the title win for Philadelphia. Postscript: not one Washington Capital cracked the top 10 in individual scoring, yet the team had 10 more wins than the next closest team in the league, perhaps by sharing the ball among the three-headed monster. The first season of the league was far from overwhelming. The public remained skeptical of pros, most fans favoring the college game. But its tournament conclusion grabbed national headlines with the stunning upsets and simmering rivalries. McKinney averaged 12 points in the regular season, 10 per game in the tournament loss to Chicago. Bones was voted first team All-League, one of the BAA's top players. Auerbach did not win a title with the Capitals. In the middle of his third year, he took the job with a struggling team called the Celtics. That's 1949, and now it's called the NBA. From 1956 through 1966, his Celtics won 9 of the 10 world titles. He's in the Naismith Hall of Fame. Today, the NBA Coach of the Year receives the Red Auerbach Trophy. And you're on the Coach's Road, where basketball coaches travel, along with passionate hoop enthusiasts. Please subscribe. It helps me, and it's free for you. Coach Burrows, over and out.